Chosen one, your I don't give a flip is being activated right now, and your opinion of love is about to ruffle some serious feathers. You've been the friend everyone runs to when their romantic fantasies crumble into reality, because you see through the nonsense that keeps people trapped in toxic cycles, and now it's time to take that gift public and watch the sparks fly. People are tired of being lied to about love. They're exhausted from the fairy tale nonsense that keeps them trapped in situations that drain their life force. They need someone who will tell them the truth, even when it stings. They need someone who won't sugarcoat reality, just to make them feel better about their poor choices. You have a very specific way of delivering hard truths that doesn't completely destroy people. Most folks who speak bluntly either come across as cruel, or they're so concerned with being nice that they dilute their message into uselessness. You found that sweet spot where people can hear what they need to hear without feeling attacked. Your energy is shifting into something that's going to make waves. Social media algorithms are about to pick up on what you're putting out there. Your perspective on relationships, your no-nonsense approach to calling out red flags, your ability to spot authentic connection versus manufactured drama, all of this is about to reach people who desperately need to hear it. The activation happening inside you right now is preparing you to become a voice that cuts through all the relationship advice noise online. You're not here to tell people what they want to hear. You're here to show them what a real spark looks like versus the artificial fireworks that burn out and leave them in darkness. This isn't about becoming the relationship police or the love guru who has all the answers. This is about stepping into your role as someone who helps people recognize their own worth and stop settling for connections that diminish their light. Right now, there's chaos unfolding in the online relationship advice space that's serving as a perfect teaching moment for what you're being called to do. You've been watching situations develop, and your internal alarm system has been going off consistently. Your ability to read energy through screens, through carefully curated content, through the spaces between words, that's not something everyone possesses. When you see certain relationship dynamics playing out publicly, something inside you immediately recognizes the patterns: the love bombing disguised as romance, the manipulation tactics wrapped in spiritual language, the way someone can use terms like manifestation and divine timing while demonstrating they understand neither concept. You've probably noticed how predators study people who are building platforms, especially those teaching about love and relationships. They watch from the shadows, taking notes on vulnerabilities, learning exactly what words to use and when to use them. They position themselves as the answer to prayers, while secretly planning to exploit the very openness that makes someone effective at helping others. The meeting stories that don't add up, the coincidences that feel too convenient, the way someone appears exactly when a person is at their most vulnerable, armed with all the right words and perfectly timed gestures. You see these patterns because you've either experienced them yourself or witnessed them happening to people you care about. There's a particular type of person who seeks out those with growing influence, not to genuinely support their mission, but to attach themselves to that rising energy. They present themselves as collaborators, as potential partners, as people who really understand what you're trying to build. Then they reveal their true intentions once they feel secure in their position. You've learned to be extremely careful about who gets access to your energy, your platform, your vision. The lesson isn't to never trust anyone. It's to recognize that some people study you not to love you better, but to use your own growth against you. They memorize your past hurts so they can position themselves as the healing you need. They learn your language so they can speak it back to you while meaning something entirely different. This is why your opinion about love is going to ruffle feathers. You're going to call out the behaviors that others ignore or excuse. You're going to point out the red flags that people desperately want to paint green. You're going to be the voice that says that meeting story doesn't make sense when everyone else is celebrating the romance. Your gift isn't just seeing through individual situations, it's recognizing the broader patterns that keep people trapped in cycles of dysfunction. You understand that someone who can't control their impulses, who can't manage their own emotional regulation, who uses manipulation as a primary relationship tool, cannot lead others toward anything healthy. The ability to spot authentic connection versus manufactured chemistry is becoming more valuable every day. People are surrounded by examples of relationships that look perfect on the surface, but are actually elaborate performances designed to hide the chaos underneath. They need someone who can help them distinguish between real intimacy and skillful presentation. Your calling involves helping people develop the same pattern recognition that you've cultivated, teaching them to trust their initial instincts instead of talking themselves out of what they clearly see, showing them that love shouldn't require constant explanation, justification, or defense to outside observers. The chaos you're witnessing isn't random, it's providing you with case studies in exactly what you'll be helping people avoid. Every manipulation tactic you identify, every red flag you spot, every moment your internal alarm system activates, all of this is preparation for the work you're about to do. Your energy is shifting into something that's going to shock the people who thought they knew you. The version of yourself that used to accommodate, that used to soften your words to protect other people's feelings, that used to question your own perceptions when they conflicted with popular opinion, that version is dissolving. What's emerging is someone who stands unshakably in their truth. Not because you've become harsh or uncaring, but because you've realized that diluting your insights to make them more palatable actually does a disservice to everyone involved. People don't need another voice telling them what they want to hear. They need someone willing to illuminate what they need to see. You're about to encounter situations where family members, friends, or romantic interests try to test your new boundaries. They've grown accustomed to a version of you that could be manipulated through guilt, obligation, or the threat of conflict. They're going to attempt the same tactics that worked before, expecting the same results. The difference is that you now recognize these approaches for what they are. When someone tries to make you feel responsible for their emotional reactions to your honesty, you see the manipulation clearly. When people attempt to use your love for others as leverage to get what they want, you understand the game being played. Your divine protection is activating simultaneously with your truth-telling abilities. Every time someone has tried to retaliate against you for speaking up, for setting boundaries, for refusing to participate in dysfunction, the consequences have fallen back on them instead of you. This isn't coincidence. This is how the universe responds when someone is aligned with their authentic purpose. You're going to witness people's true characters revealed when they realize they can no longer control or influence you the way they used to. Some will respect your evolution and adjust their behavior accordingly. Others will reveal that their entire relationship with you was based on what they could extract, rather than genuine care for your well-being. The people who become upset when you stop enabling their poor choices, who get angry when you refuse to validate their victim narratives, who accuse you of being harsh when you simply stop pretending their destructive patterns are acceptable. These reactions tell you everything you need to know about their intentions. Your ability to remain calm while others lose their composure, to speak clearly while others resort to emotional manipulation, to maintain your position while others attempt to gaslight you into doubt. These are not just personal strengths. These are the exact qualities that will make you effective at helping others navigate similar situations. Someone from your past is about to resurface, someone who has been planning this encounter for months or even years. They've been rehearsing what they'll say, how they'll approach you, what angle they'll use to try to regain access to your energy. They have no idea that you're operating from a completely different frequency now. The version of you they're expecting to encounter no longer exists. They're prepared for the person who used to explain themselves, who used to engage in circular arguments, who used to accept blame for other people's reactions. They're going to be completely unprepared for someone who simply states their position and refuses to engage in the drama they're attempting to create. Your presence alone is going to reveal their intentions. They won't be able to maintain their performance when confronted with someone who sees clearly and responds from a place of centered power rather than reactive emotion. The contrast between their energy and yours will be so obvious that even they won't be able to ignore it. This encounter, when it happens, will serve as confirmation of how much you've evolved. Instead of being triggered back into old patterns, you'll observe the situation with detached clarity. You'll see their attempts at manipulation for what they are, and you'll respond in a way that protects your peace while offering no energy for them to feed on. The people who are meant to be in your life will celebrate this version of you. The ones who can't handle your authenticity will remove themselves, doing you the favor of clearing space for connections that can meet you at your actual level. Something significant is shifting in your relationship with money and creative expression. You're about to discover that the same authenticity that's revolutionizing your personal relationships is also the key to financial abundance. Your willingness to speak truth, to ruffle feathers, to stand firmly in your perspective regardless of popular opinion. These qualities are about to become your greatest assets. You might have recently made a purchase or investment that initially made you feel guilty or reckless. Perhaps you spent money on your health, on necessary equipment, on something that supports your growth, but created temporary financial stress. Stop questioning that decision. Your willingness to invest in yourself, even when it feels uncomfortable, demonstrates the kind of financial courage that creates lasting prosperity. The universe doesn't reward people who play small with their resources. The same energy that holds you back from speaking your truth also keeps money flowing away from you instead of toward you. Your activation into authentic self-expression is simultaneously activating multiple income streams that you haven't even recognized yet. Your creative gifts are about to become profitable in ways you haven't imagined. Whether you express yourself through writing, speaking, visual arts, music, or any other medium, your authentic voice carries a frequency that people have been waiting to encounter. You're not going to have to manufacture content or pretend to be someone you're not to attract an audience. The commission-based opportunities coming your way will feel natural rather than forced. You'll find yourself earning money by simply being yourself, sharing your genuine perspectives, and helping people in ways that align with your values. The high-pressure sales tactics, the manipulation-based marketing strategies, the need to convince people to value what you offer, none of that will be necessary. Your relationship with money is maturing beyond the scarcity-based thinking that keeps most people trapped in cycles of financial stress. You're beginning to understand that money flows toward people who provide genuine value, who solve real problems, who offer perspectives that others can't find elsewhere. The charity you've extended to others throughout your life, the generosity you've shown even when you couldn't afford it, the times you've helped people without expecting anything in return, all of this is about to circle back to you multiplied. This isn't karma in some abstract sense. This is the natural result of operating from abundance consciousness rather than fear-based hoarding. You're about to step into your role as someone who enhances the beauty in others' lives. This isn't about physical appearance, though that may be part of it. This is about your ability to help people see their own worth, to recognize their potential, to stop settling for situations that diminish their light. People will pay for this kind of transformation because it changes everything about how they experience life. Your earning power is directly connected to your willingness to be controversial when necessary. The people who try to be everything to everyone, who avoid having strong opinions to prevent offending anyone, who dilute their message to appeal to the broadest possible audience, they struggle financially because they're not providing anything unique or transformative. Your strength lies in your specificity, your willingness to say this is wrong when others stay silent, your ability to call out patterns that others ignore, your refusal to pretend that all perspectives are equally valid when some are clearly more beneficial than others. The business opportunities approaching you will align with your values rather than requiring you to compromise them. You won't have to choose between financial success and personal integrity. The people who become your clients, customers, or collaborators will be attracted to your authenticity, not despite it. You're entering a phase where your inner child healing and your leadership abilities are developing simultaneously. The playful, creative, uninhibited parts of yourself that were suppressed or criticized in the past are being reactivated as sources of power rather than vulnerability. This isn't about becoming childish. This is about reclaiming the fearless authenticity that gets conditioned out of most people as they grow up. Your willingness to have fun, to be silly, to express joy without apology, to get excited about things that matter to you, regardless of whether others understand. These qualities are becoming magnetic. People are drawn to others who give themselves permission to be fully alive. Your inner child healing is actually a form of leadership because you're demonstrating what's possible when someone stops performing for approval. The people closest to you are going through their own adjustments as you step into this version of yourself. Family members, romantic partners, close friends, they're all learning to relate to someone who no longer sacrifices their own needs to keep everyone else comfortable. This transition requires them to mature in ways they may have been avoiding. Instead of you managing everyone else's emotions, they're having to develop their own emotional regulation skills. Instead of you solving their problems, they're learning to find their own solutions. Instead of you absorbing the stress of maintaining family harmony, they're having to contribute to creating a peaceful environment. This shift is actually a gift to everyone involved, even though it might not feel that way initially. You've been unconsciously enabling people to remain dependent rather than helping them develop their own capabilities. Your evolution is forcing them to evolve as well, which serves their highest good even if they resist the process. Your relationship with your romantic partner, if you have one, is transforming in profound ways. You're both learning to see the inner child in each other again. The daily responsibilities, the stresses of adult life, the routine interactions that can make couples feel like roommates rather than lovers, all of this is being infused with renewed playfulness and curiosity. You're creating space for vulnerability in ways that feel safe and natural. The inner child healing work you're doing is creating more capacity for intimacy because you're releasing the defense mechanisms that were necessary for survival but counterproductive for connection. Your leadership style is emerging as something entirely different from the authoritarian or people-pleasing approaches you've witnessed. You lead by example rather than by force. You inspire growth through your own transformation rather than trying to change others through pressure or manipulation. People are beginning to look to you for guidance, not because you claim to have all the answers, but because you're willing to admit when you don't know something and figure it out together. Your vulnerability about your own growth process makes others feel safe to be honest about their struggles. You're becoming the person who helps others get unstuck from patterns that are keeping them small. This isn't about giving advice or telling people what to do. This is about creating environments where people feel safe to explore who they really are underneath all their conditioning and trauma responses. Your ability to spot when someone is hiding their light, when they're settling for situations that don't honor their worth, when they're repeating cycles that no longer serve them, this awareness is becoming one of your greatest gifts to others. You help people see themselves more clearly by refusing to participate in their self-diminishing narratives. The boundary work you're doing in your personal life is teaching you how to hold space for others without becoming enmeshed in their problems. You're learning the difference between being supportive and being enabling, between being caring and being codependent. Your inner child wants to play, to create, to explore, to express without censoring. Your adult self is learning to protect and nurture these impulses rather than shutting them down. This integration is creating a wholeness that others can feel in your presence, and it's inspiring them to heal their own split between responsibility and joy. Your consciousness about health and environmental toxins is expanding rapidly, and this awareness is becoming part of your mission to help others reclaim their vitality. You're discovering that the same systems that try to keep people confused about love also profit from keeping them sick, tired, and dependent on substances that create more problems than they solve. The processed foods, the chemicals in everyday products, the synthetic ingredients that are banned in other countries but freely used where you live, you're seeing through the marketing that makes these things seem normal or even beneficial. Your body is becoming more sensitive to what serves your highest good and what depletes your energy. You're learning that the fatigue, the mood swings, the brain fog, the digestive issues that so many people accept as normal are often the result of environmental toxins rather than personal failings. The forever chemicals in bandages, the dyes in cereals that cause hyperactivity in children, the additives in bread that serve no nutritional purpose, you're connecting dots that most people never even think to examine. Your coffee ritual is transforming from a caffeine dependency into a health-supporting practice. You're discovering that the quality of what you consume matters more than the quantity. 1 cup of properly sourced, toxin-free coffee provides more energy and mental clarity than multiple cups of the commercial versions that contain mold, pesticides, and other contaminants. Chosen one, you didn't find this message by accident, you were summoned. Summoned by the pulse of something ancient in your blood, by the frequency only the rarest of souls can hear. Welcome to the Obsidian Inner Order, where the ones who've been to hell and back don't just heal. Inside our sanctuary, we don't chase clout, followers, or fake peace. We shatter illusions, we wield prophecy, we initiate miracles. Each week our happy hour Zoom call isn't just a meeting, it's where revelations drop like lightning. It's where you laugh with soul family, cry with cosmic warriors, and walk away charged up. You're not just joining a group, you're stepping into a soul alliance, a league of misfits, prophets, warriors, and lightbringers who were never meant to fit in this world because we came here to reshape it. If you've been feeling like the system lied to you, if you've always known you were built for a different timeline, if your glow-up has enemies praying for your downfall, then it's time. This is your signal, the Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Astral Atom. We don't fit in, we take over. Link in the description. The supplement industry revelations are eye-opening. You're learning that many products marketed for health actually contain synthetic ingredients that create more stress on your system than benefit. The apple cider vinegar, the organic oils, the grass-fed options, you're discovering that quality matters more than convenience. Your metabolism is responding to these changes in ways that surprise you. The energy crashes, the afternoon fatigue, the need for constant stimulation to maintain focus, these symptoms are diminishing as you eliminate the substances that were creating these problems in the first place. This health awareness is becoming part of how you serve others. You're not trying to become a health expert or replace medical professionals, but you're sharing what you learn from your own experience. People are struggling with energy, mood, and mental clarity, and many of them have no idea that their environment and food choices are contributing to these issues. Your willingness to invest in higher quality food, cleaner products, and health-supporting supplements is paying dividends in your energy levels, mental clarity, and overall sense of well-being. This isn't about spending more money to feel superior. This is about recognizing that your health is the foundation for everything else you want to accomplish. The same discernment you use to identify toxic relationship patterns is being applied to identifying toxic environmental influences. Your body is becoming a more reliable guide for what serves you and what doesn't, and you're learning to trust these signals rather than overriding them for convenience or social acceptance. You stand at the threshold of complete integration, where your truth-telling abilities, your protective energy, your financial abundance, your health consciousness, and your leadership gifts converge into an unstoppable force for transformation. This isn't the end of your journey. This is you stepping fully into the role you were designed to play. Your relationship with truth has evolved beyond personal preference into cosmic responsibility. You understand now that truth isn't about being right or winning arguments. Truth is about creating clarity in spaces where confusion has been used as a weapon against people's growth and happiness. The people who get uncomfortable when you speak directly, who accuse you of being too intense or too honest, who try to shame you for having strong opinions, their reactions reveal their own relationship with deception. You're no longer available to dim your light to accommodate their comfort with darkness. Your energy signature has become unmistakable. When you enter a room, virtually or physically, people can feel the presence of someone who isn't performing, isn't hiding, isn't trying to manipulate the energy for personal gain. This authenticity is magnetic to those who are ready for real connection and threatening to those who profit from maintaining illusions. The gratitude practice that grounds you isn't about toxic positivity or pretending everything is perfect. This is about recognizing the abundance that already exists in your life while continuing to grow and evolve. Your ability to appreciate what you have while working toward what you want demonstrates a level of emotional maturity that many people struggle to develop. You're no longer seeking permission to be yourself. The days of looking for external validation, of checking with others before expressing your truth, of moderating your opinions to avoid conflict, that phase of your life is complete. You answer to your highest self and the divine intelligence that guides your path. The enhancement you bring to others' lives happens automatically now. You don't have to try to help people or force your insights on anyone. Your presence alone elevates the energy of every interaction. People leave conversations with you feeling more clear about their own path, more confident in their worth, more willing to stop settling for less than they deserve. Your silence has become as powerful as your words. You've learned when to speak and when to simply hold space, when to offer guidance and when to allow people to find their own answers, when to share your perspective and when your energy communicates everything that needs to be said. The people who are meant to be part of your continued journey are recognizing you now. The collaborators, the clients, the friends, the romantic partner who can match your frequency, they're being drawn into your orbit by the same authentic power that's repelling those who can't handle your level of truth. You've become someone who enhances beauty in all its forms, the beauty of honest communication, of authentic relationship, of creative expression, of financial abundance used responsibly, of health maintained consciously, of personal power exercised with wisdom. Your opinion about love, about life, about what people deserve and what they should stop tolerating, these perspectives will continue to ruffle feathers. Not because you're trying to be controversial, but because truth always disturbs the systems built on lies. The activation you felt at the beginning of this journey is now your permanent operating system. Your "I don't give a flip" isn't a temporary rebellion against circumstances you couldn't control. This is you claiming your rightful place as someone who serves truth, creates beauty, protects the vulnerable, and refuses to participate in the collective agreements that keep people small. You are no longer becoming you are, the chosen one, who was always meant to speak up, stand out and show others what's possible when someone fully embodies their authentic power. Your era has officially begun.